All you need to do is show up to class, do your best, and you'll be just fine. He gives lots of opportunities, as this was a speech that was supposed to be taken care of when it was supposed to be taken care of. But because Dr. Hasan is the person that he is, he's given me the opportunity to do this. Y'all need to back off of Dr. Hasan. Y'all be just fine. The speech that I'm going to give is about Qaddafi and Libya. And I'm sure that you all, since you're in college, have been paying attention to the world that you live in. And you know that North Africa is in a struggle for freedom. I'm sure you know that. In Libya, yes?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. As I was preparing to write this speech, I was checking Twitter, and on my timeline was a comment from a young lady in Libya, and she said that Qaddafi has inflicted over 40 years of hell upon Libya. How long is it going to take for this nightmare to be over? And obviously she was referencing the struggle that's taking place in her country. And at that point, I was instantly reminded of our dear brother, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., giving a speech in Montgomery, Alabama in 1965. One of his many speeches in response to, at that time, the very vicious wickedness of racism, which so proudly and boldly displayed his bloodstained, murderous face when he said, at the conclusion of his speech, "I know that you are asking today, how long will it take? How long will prejudice blind the vision of men, darken their understanding, and drive bright-eyed wisdom from her sacred throne? I come to you this afternoon to say, however difficult the moment, however frustrating the hour, that it will not be long, because truth crushed to earth will rise again." Now, when I last spoke of Libya and Qaddafi, I passionately stressed the importance of the West not standing by and being idle spectators to the slaughter of Libyan people by Qaddafi, because that's exactly what he was doing, killing his own people. Now, obviously, they heard my plea, because the United Nations signed the order of a no-fly zone over Libya, just as they had done in Saddam Hussein's Iraq in 1991, just as they had done in Bosnia in 93 to 95. They recognized that the Libyan people deserve to live with freedom, democracy, and dignity. And in this instance, their pursuit of happiness in their own land was legitimized by this action, because in no way would this be possible with bombs being dropped on their heads by Qaddafi. Now, I know that religion should be about the practice of love, especially in the Middle East, in my view, and other Arab nations whose culture is absolutely dominated by the practice of religion, which ought to be of love. And love should be guided by goodness and righteousness, and no man who claims to be good or righteous, i.e. Qaddafi, would kill his own people. Now, I read a little further on this issue because it stuck with me, and I read that if love is not guided by those things, goodness and righteousness, then the transforming power of love has a way of bringing about wretchedness in people whose higher sentiments in life stay completely animal and worldly. Qaddafi is guilty of being completely animal and worldly, having no love for the Libyan people, and in turn he treats them poorly. And I was told, Dr. Hasan, that a man who doesn't treat you right will never teach you right, and for that reason alone, Qaddafi must go. To my dear Libyan sister, who asks the question, how long will it take? Considering that the revolution must continue so that the lives of those men and women who are lost in the battle for a better Libya will not be in vain, considering that a man who has been in power for over 40 years, who said he will not go without putting up a serious fight, he said he would rather die a martyr than give up his throne, considering that all of this must take place, how long? As our dear brother Martin concluded at the end of his speech, how long? Not long. Thank you.